So next, let us talk about the anomalous properties of lithium. Now, when I used to tell all of these properties regarding these alkali metals, I always used to hold on to the exceptional case of lithium especially, right? So when we talk about the property regarding hydration enthalpy, lithium was said to be an exception. So most of the cases, lithium had a different property which was neither exhibited by all the other alkali metals. So that's what we are focusing on, that why lithium is said to be behaving differently than all of these other alkali metals. Which are the alkali metals we will study? That is lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. So when you compare all of these alkali metals, when these alkali metals are said to be having same kind of properties, why lithium is said to be having a different property? That is what we want to know right now. And that is the anomalous properties of lithium. What do you mean by anomalous? Which means it exhibits a different property. It shows its property differently, okay, when compared to all the other alkali metals. Now, what is the main idea of this lithium having a different property? So, what is the reason behind it? Now, as I say, first of all, that lithium will have a smaller size when compared to all of these other alkali metals. Okay, lithium is said to be having exceptionally smaller size. Why? Because as it contains only 2 of the shells. Now, if you have to write the electronic configuration of lithium, the atomic number is 3. So, you write the electronic configuration as 1s2 and 2s1, which means it consists of K shell and L shell. Right? So there are 2 shells which is present and all of these are S subshells, which means this S subshells are much more attracted towards the nucleus, and because of this high force of attraction between the nucleus as well as the electrons present in these subshells, the attraction is more, so also the size becomes more lesser. Okay, so hence lithium is said to be having very small size, and that is one of the main property why lithium behaves in a different manner, okay, but not like other alkali metals. So first point is that it has exceptionally smaller size. Okay, so due to the smaller size, they will have different properties. Who? That is lithium. Okay, so this is one of the reasons that why we see lithium as an exception in most of the cases why we study about the properties of these alkali metals. And the second point, that is also an important thing, which is nothing but lithium ion shows a high polarizing power. It has high polarizing power. Now what do you mean by high polarizing power? Lithium, as you know, that it has a smaller size, high polarizing power, right? So lithium ion is said to be having a very smaller size, right? Now because of the smaller size, this particular cation, imagine this as lithium cation. Now this cation can distort another greater size anion, right? So an anion will always be larger in size when compared to cation. So this can distort the electron charge cloud of the other anion. Okay. Now, why does this happen? We say high polarizing power in the sense how much it can distort this electron cloud and form a bond. That is the high polarizing power. But why lithium has high polarizing power? Why is this? Because we consider polarizing power as charge to the radius ratio or the size ratio. Right. So polarizing power is equal to charge by radius, which means that polarizing power is inversely proportional to the radius. So as the radius increases, polarizing power decreases. Now how about the size of lithium ion? It is said to be very small. So the radius is also small. What happens to polarizing power? It increases. Right? So polarizing power of lithium ion, as it is very small in size, the polarizing power is higher, which means that it can easily distort the larger anion which is present. And because of this, they form a very strong bond between them. Right? So instead of becoming an ionic bond over here, they slightly turn covalent in nature, which means they try sharing the electrons rather than becoming ionic. So they slightly show the covalent character. And because of this, you also see that these lithium compounds will also dissolve in organic solvents. Why organic solvents? Because covalent compounds tend to dissolve in covalent organic solvents. Okay, because if it is ionic solvents, obviously the ions has to exchange and then they dissolve. But being covalent in nature, they can be dissolved in organic solvents. Like you have alcohol, acetone, all of these are organic solvents. So as they are covalent in nature, they can be dissolved in organic solvents. So this is what it says. So mainly these two are the important points why lithium shows a different property rather than all the other alkali metals. So first one is they have exceptionally smaller size, and the second one is they have high polarizing power. What do you mean by polarizing power? The capacity of which this cation can distort. Okay, they can rearrange this particular anion and form a bond. That is your polarizing power. And also you know that lithium shows properties which is similar to magnesium, and this relationship is diagonal relationship. Why do they show this diagonal relationship? Because lithium most of the time it is said to be having properties which is similar to magnesium because of their similar sizes. Okay, their ionic radius or their atomic radii, these values are said to be similar. Okay, so because of this they have a diagonal relationship with magnesium, and these properties will be similar. One is lithium as well as magnesium. So let's talk about diagonal relationship later on, but for now these two are very, very important. That is, first of all, lithium has exceptionally smaller size and they have high polarizing power. So this is the reason why lithium show different property than the other alkali metals. So next, let us see the difference between lithium and the other alkali metals. Okay. Now, as we got to know that this anomalous property which is exhibited by lithium is due to mainly two of the reasons. One is of smaller size as well as high polarizing power. Now, what is actually the difference? Okay, let us just sum up all of these properties and then let us understand what is the difference between all of the other alkali metals as well as lithium. So mainly we will look into some of the properties wherein we will have to focus more on why lithium shows a different property. Now first of all, let's talk about the basic difference, that is lithium is much harder. When you compare to all of these alkali metals like sodium, potassium, all of these are soft metals, right? But lithium comparatively is much harder, and because of this its melting point and boiling point is also high. Okay, as lithium is much harder, its melting point and boiling point becomes high. Okay, but all of the other alkali metals will have low melting and boiling points as well as they are much softer in nature. Okay, so that is one of the main difference which you see with the lithium as well as the other alkali metals. The second one, lithium is least reactive, but exceptional case that it is said to be a good reducing agent. One of the best reducing agents which is used, okay, in most of the catalytic reactions and all, lithium is being used as it is least reactive in nature. Okay, but you also know that whenever lithium, okay, when it is kept open in air, it can form its oxide. Okay, but they do not form superoxides. Superoxides are not formed by lithium. Okay, instead they form monoxides. Okay, so they form its own oxide, or some amount of peroxide can be formed, but the most stable state, that is superoxides, cannot be formed by lithium. That is one of the things to be remembered. And also lithium has a special property of combining with nitrogen gas, or it reacts with nitrogen gas which is present in the atmosphere, and it forms its nitride, that is lithium nitride, which is written as Li3N. Okay, lithium nitride. That is one of the things. And also lithium chloride is deliquescent in nature. What do you mean by deliquescent? Which means that lithium chloride is actually soluble in water. So when they are made to dissolve in water, they easily become soluble, and also if they are recrystallized, or if a crystal has to be formed, they can easily form its own hydrate, which is lithium chloride dot 2H2O. So such crystals are formed when lithium is treated with water and recrystallized. So which is not exhibited by all the other alkali metals. Other alkali metals do not form its own hydrated salts, which is like a crystal. But lithium has this property, special property of forming a hydrated crystal salt. And lithium fluoride and lithium oxide, as you all know, they are much soluble in water because of high lattice enthalpy, which is the energy which is released is more. Due to that, they become less soluble in water, comparatively less soluble when you compare to other alkali metal compounds. And also, lithium hydrogen carbonate is not obtained in the solid form. All the other alkali metals, suppose sodium hydrogen carbonate or potassium hydrogen carbonate, all of these are obtained in solid form, whereas lithium hydrogen carbonate is not obtained. So in all of these properties, you may be asked to write any 3 of the points of difference between lithium and other alkali metals. So try to remember any important 3 of them or 4 of them, so that you can write it down very easily. That is one thing. So lithium hydrogen carbonate are not obtained in solid form. And also they form no ethyl ion. What do you mean by ethyl ion? This is a product which is obtained when lithium reacts with ethyl. Now as you all know that ethyl is a triple bonded carbon compound, right? So ethyl is written as CH triple bond CH, right? So here you see that this hydrogen is being removed. I have already written here. So here this hydrogen is being removed, and instead of this hydrogen, a lithium bond is formed. So carbon with lithium and another carbon with lithium, like this. Hydrogen is removed, instead of hydrogen, here lithium is attached to the carbon. So here you see that this remains triple bond. So here there is carbon, here there is carbon, instead of hydrogen there is lithium, instead of hydrogen there is lithium. Now this particular compound is called ethyl ion. Ethyl ion, because it is triple bonded. So here this is ethyl ion. So here this property says that all the other alkali metals can form this bond, but lithium does not form this ethyl ion, when it reacts with ethyl. So as you all know, the reason is the same thing, that they have smaller size and high polarizing power. Because of that, they won't be able to form a bond with carbon, and because of this, they can't form ethyl ion like all the other alkali metals. So this is one thing. And also, if you see this reaction here, lithium nitrate, when it is undergoing decomposition, or when it is heated, it decomposes to form lithium oxide, then nitrogen dioxide, as well as oxygen, which are the stable compounds. But if you see sodium nitrate or potassium nitrate, or all of these alkali metal nitrates, if it's taken and it is heated, it decomposes to give its own nitrites. Nitrites is being obtained. But lithium, what does it form? It forms its own oxide. But all the other alkali metals form nitrites with the liberation of some amount of oxygen. So this is one of the difference, that lithium nitrate, when undergoing decomposition or thermal decomposition, it gives lithium oxide with some amount of nitrogen dioxide and oxygen gas. So these are some of the main differences between the lithium as well as the other alkali metals. So easily you can remember the first one, that it is much harder and its melting point and boiling point is high. And also these two, you can remember that they react directly with oxygen and nitrogen, forming oxides as well as nitrites. And lithium chloride is deliquescent in nature, which means it is easily soluble in water and can form a crystal or a hydrated crystal salt, that is lithium chloride 2H2O. And you can remember that lithium hydrogen carbonates are not obtained in the solid form. That can be written. So any of them, you just have to remember a few of the points and understand the difference between lithium as well as other alkali metals. So as I said that lithium shows a diagonal relationship with the element that is magnesium. So why do they show a diagonal relationship? Because of their similar sizes. Okay. So you see that the atomic radii, the values of atomic radii for lithium is 152 picometer, which is almost near to that of magnesium, which is around 160 picometer. In the same way, if you look into the values of ionic radii, lithium ion has ionic radii of 76 picometer and magnesium has 72 picometer, which is again nearby values. So because of their similar sizes, okay, you know that size is one of the major property in order to exhibit some of the similar properties too. Okay, the way they behave or the way they react with other elements will be almost similar if their sizes are similar in nature. So because of these sizes, okay, similarity in sizes between them, okay, the lithium as well as magnesium element, they both exhibit similar properties. Now, how do we conclude that they have similar properties? So some of the similarities were seen, okay, with respect to different ways in how they react with other elements. Now as we saw that lithium was behaving differently than the other alkali metals. So it had some exceptional cases. In the same way, magnesium also used to exhibit the similar properties like lithium. I'll tell you how. First of all, you see that as I said, lithium is much harder, right? In the same way, magnesium also seems to be harder and they are lighter too. Okay, so because of this, what happens? Their melting point and boiling point is also high. So magnesium also had the similar property just like lithium. So this is one of the conclusions that we arrive at, that these both have some relationship with each other. That is your diagonal relationship. In the same way, if you just look at the second point, that lithium and magnesium react slowly with water. Okay, so they both had that property, saying that they react slowly with water. They do not, their oxides or hydroxides, they are not exactly soluble in water. They are sparingly soluble, which means they do not get dissolved that easily in water. Okay, so that is one of the thing or one of the similarity which is obtained, which is seen between lithium and magnesium. And both form nitrides. As you know that lithium can directly react with nitrogen and form its own nitride. In the same way, magnesium also exhibited a special property of reacting with nitrogen and forming its nitride, that is Mg3N2. So in the same way, lithium also forms its nitride, that is LiPn. Okay, so this is one of the special property. And the fourth one, lithium oxide and magnesium oxide does not give their superoxides. So they could only form their oxides. They used to never attain to the stable state, that is superoxides. Okay, they may form some amount of peroxide. So first comes oxide, then comes peroxide, then comes superoxide. So superoxides were not possible by the lithium and magnesium. Instead, they could only form oxides. Okay, maybe there is some amount of peroxide too, but superoxides were not possible by both of these elements. And also, if you see here, the solid hydrogen carbonate is not formed by lithium. As I have told it earlier, that solid hydrogen carbonates, lithium hydrogen carbonates are not obtained in the solid form. In the same way, magnesium hydrogen carbonate was also not obtained in the solid form, whereas all the magnesium group elements, that is alkaline earth metals, could form solid crystals, okay, of hydrogen carbonates. That is also one of the similarity between them. So you see the bonding or the friendship between lithium as well as magnesium, right? Interesting. In the same way, lithium carbonate and magnesium carbonate decompose on heating. As I said, what do they form? They form oxides, lithium oxides and carbon dioxide. Even in the same way, magnesium carbonate also gave oxide as well as carbon dioxide. But all the other elements, what do they give? Okay, they would give something else. Okay, but lithium carbonate and magnesium carbonate usually form carbon dioxide and oxides. And lithium chloride and magnesium chloride are deliquescent. Again, in the same way, way like how lithium chloride used to get dissolved in water, it was easily soluble in water. In the same way, magnesium chloride was also soluble in water, and when they are recrystallized, they also form crystals, that is a hydrated salt. In the same way how lithium used to, that is lithium chloride forms 2H2O, that's a crystallized salt. In the same way, magnesium chloride 2H2O was formed. Again, they are acting like twins. So the next point says that lithium chloride and magnesium chloride are soluble in ethanol. As I said that lithium shows a covalent nature, because of this they can easily get dissolved in organic solvent. So one of the best example for organic solvent is ethanol, alcohol. Alcohol can dissolve lithium chloride and magnesium chloride because of their covalent property. So again, these both show similarities between each other. So mainly these similarities were seen because of their sizes, similar sizes. Okay, due to their similar sizes, they all had similar properties, and that is why lithium stands, away from all the other alkali metals, and has a similarity between magnesium. Okay, so this was all about the alkali metals. Okay, so in the next class, let us move on to the alkaline earth metals and also their properties. So see you in the next class, children. Thank you.